Well, what is up, guys? Tyler here with the Kingdoms Trading Card Game, and thank you for tuning in for the 12 Days of Christmas video YouTube uploads. This is video number 10 out of the 12 videos, and this is the official Set 3 sneak peek. This set is going to be coming out in about a month or two, depends on when it gets done and when it comes in from the game crafter, so I make sure everything is right. And so this video is going to be officially showing you everything coming out in Set 3. Well, I should say mostly everything. I can't show all the cards quite yet because I want to keep it a surprise for when it officially becomes available on the game crafter for you to order. Let's go ahead and jump on into the video. So first of all, in Set 3, it's called New Designs. And Set 3 takes place on a place called Olding Island, which is a separate island location, separate from the Navajo Peninsula, which Sets 1, 2, and 2.5 take place on. Now, the three new kingdoms that are being made, the first kingdom is the Kingdom of Aflan, which is a Borum kingdom. Borum is the spirit, Aflan is the kingdom that he has made. Rish will be the next kingdom, which Mrif has made. And then the other kingdom will be Flexel, who Tanis has made. Now, all three of these kingdoms thematically are much larger cities though, and very artistic and very, just very well put together, very modern for their times. Now, Flexel, because they're a little bit more in the desert on Olding Island, they're a little bit rougher around the edges. Aflan and Rish are a little bit more similar, and actually in this set, from a story perspective, Rish is a little bit more on the aggressive side, which is a little out of the norm for any Mrif kingdoms that are made, because previously there's Furbish and Cludace, which tend to lay a little bit low. Now in Set 3, New Designs, there's going to be three new abilities introduced. Aflan, the Kingdom of Aflan, which again is created by Borum, is going to have the ability Pierce. Now what this means is anytime a battle card attacks with the ability Pierce, any extra damage that goes over the health of the card that it's attacking gets dealt to the Sacred. So this is going to be great for players that have high attacking cards and being able to deal that, that pivotal damage to your opponent's Sacred. I'm really curious to see how that's going to work. The next ability is the Kingdom of the ability Forge, which the Kingdom of Flexel is going to introduce. Now the ability Forge is this. Essentially, a card has 2 lives. Now, I'm trying to be careful with this ability because I can't give too many cards this ability, and I need to be careful with which cards get this ability because this could easily be broken. Because essentially, you're getting a 2-for-1 deal when you play a card. So, kind of have to balance it with the cost or whatever. So essentially, you can have a battle card on the field, and if it has Forge, that card has to get attacked twice lethally in order for it to be destroyed. And so I'm really excited for how that's going to play out, and I think there's going to be some cool spells and other effects that Flexel cards have that make that ability that much better. And then lastly, for the Kingdom of Rish, they will have the ability Tithe. Now how Tithe works is when you play a card that has Tithe, your opponent then has to give you X Magicka, where X is the amount of cards that they have currently called to the field. So for example, say your opponent has played 2 tokens and 3 battle cards. Your opponent now has to give you 5 Magicka that you get to use on that turn that you just called that card. So you could potentially extend your turn a couple other plays because you're generating a bunch of Magicka, and that is Magicka that your opponent is losing for their current turn, which is their counter phase, going into the full rest of their turn. So I'm really excited for how all these abilities are going to play out, and I think it's going to be great. Now let's kind of get into some of the specifics. Now, what I'm starting to do is I'm starting to print out some of the cards for video purposes, but I did run out of ink, so I wasn't able to get everything printed out. But I'm first going to show you guys a couple cards from the Kingdom of Rish. Now the Kingdom of Rish is a little bit more political. My wife liked their tall hats. Hey guys, just want to take a quick pause in the video and shout out to Realm Rumble TCG, who is also doing a 12 Days of Christmas YouTube uploads. He has finals going on right now, so this is a lot of work and hard for him to pull off, but he is doing it. So do him a favor, go check out his content. He's been putting out some great videos lately, and let's go ahead and jump back to the video. More political. My wife liked their tall hats. So this is District Representative. Now all the cards that you are seeing are pretty much final in stats and abilities and all that. This is the flag for Rish. They're kind of a blue-pink color. Let's see, Grand Jury. This is supposed to be one of their more powerful cards, I should say. And as I'm going through, now the rarities still have to be determined for some of these. Representative of Riche, I'm kind of reading these backwards. Now I will say there was a couple goals going into this set. One, I wanted cards to be more affordable. Secondly, I want some cards that are in phase 3 or phase 2 to be more appealing to people to put into their decks. And then lastly, if you are familiar with the game at all and you've been paying attention, in set 2.5 I released a spell card, and I'm forgetting what it's called, but I'll put it on the screen right now. I think it's called Special Feed, and it has something to do with plant type cards. Well, at the time of the release of that card, there was no plant battle cards in the game at all. So set 3 is going to be introducing quite a few plant type battle cards. So hopefully if people have a deck idea for plants, they can actually do that. The most important card I would say for the Kingdom of Riche that I want to show is the card Governing Aristocrats. Let me go ahead and put it back up. And what I'm starting to do with cards more often than not now is they're gonna have help text at the bottom in case it needs to explain like what's going on. But essentially this is gonna have tithe and gift, so it'll give you additional magicka next turn, but it'll take magicka from your opponent. And then this card cannot be prevented, its calling cannot be prevented. So I think it'll be a pretty good card, and the whole goal of Riche is to bring your opponent's magicka down, so that way you have more magicka to spend, and the more pieces you get in play, the better it gets. So that is the Kingdom of Riche. I'm really excited for this, and I love the flag. Last thing I'll point out, and then I'll go to the next one, from now on, I am gonna start doing set symbols. So set 3 is going to have the set symbol in the bottom left corner, and I'm really excited. And I might have misspoke when I first started this video. Set 3 is going to be called Distant Lands because it is a separate location. Okay, the next kingdom, the Kingdom of Aflan. I only have one card printed out, so I'll go ahead and put a couple up on the screen right now. I know Commander's Ride is one of them, which is one that I'm very excited about. I really liked how the camel was drawn. I was really pumped about that one. I'm also gonna put up a sacred called the Golden Shrine. This is going to be an important sacred for the Kingdom of Aflan and kind of one of their staples. That's the goal. Now, another thing that I'm going to be experimenting with in set 3 is that there are going to be a couple cards that are a little bit special in design. Now, I do want to make the ability to get foils a possibility for you, maybe in the booster packs, maybe in the starter decks, just like the set 2 and set 1 starter decks will have. But I'm also going to be experimenting with some fun art, but also full art cards. Now, this is a test sample, and I printed it out. So the Golden Shrine card I just put up, because it's supposed to be a special card, this is what the full art version will look like, and I think that is so stinking cool. Essentially the picture is just blown up to be the full art version, and I just think this is so cool. One thing that Aflan's trying to do is pump out cards as fast as they can. That's the whole goal of any Borum kingdom that is made, is that they're always trying to get cards out pretty fast, and I'm trying to really push the animal subtype theme with them, but we'll see how that happens. But that's the downside with Borum, is that they can run out of resources fast, so they're trying to get through fast and see what they can do. This is one last card I'll show for the Kingdom of Aflan. This was in a video. For the Kingdom of Aflan, Aflan is their king, and so this is kind of this is one of his cards. He does have his own card in the set. It's just called the Aflan's Throne or something along those lines. And then the last kingdom, the Kingdom of Flexel. This is supposed to be one of their more important cards, Falor. Now, the way Flexel or any Tanis kingdoms work is they're really built around their building and monuments. That's kind of the really important cards. So Falor is supposed to be one of Flexel's better cards. This does have Forge, it does have Gift. Now I do make it where this card cannot get defensive because I feel like that might be a smidge broken. But 900 health, I might bring that down just a smidge because that is rather high and it does not have bleed. But I'm really excited for the Kingdom of Flexel. I'm gonna throw up a couple other cards real quick on the screen for you to see, so that way you guys can see that. Now also in set 3, a couple other things that I'm really excited about. I already told you about the plant type. Also, Cluedace, Silvermoor, and Winterton will all be getting some additional cards, because that's what I like to do in the following major set. Previous kingdoms get a couple bonus cards or cards that help kind of fill in the gaps after we've seen enough gameplay. Next, one of the people that's on the Discord who goes by SkyTech, he's helping me with some of the art. Some of you might know or be familiar with that name because he won the Design a Card art contest. And that card will be featured in this set, the Knight of Cluedace card. I'll be putting that up on the screen right now. Also, the 100 subscriber card, I have the foil edition right here. The Boris of 100 Fists, which was the 100 subscriber special. You can see I did some special stuff with like just some mountains in the borders. This card will be available in the set. But going back to SkyTech, he is drawing and designing a couple of the cards, and in this set we are going to get our first spirit that can be used by all 3 big spirits when you're building your deck. And I'll go ahead and put that card up on the screen. That's the artwork, that's the abilities, that's the effects. I hope you guys like it. I am super stoked for it. Overall, I think the whole set's gonna look gorgeous, and I'm really excited to see how it's gonna play out. I really think out of all the sets that have been made so far, this is going to be the best set of Kingdom cards that have been made. I think it's going to be the most fun to play with, the most well balanced, even though there's some crazy opportunities for some combinations of gameplay. I'm really excited about it, and I hope you guys are excited for it too. I'm almost done drawing everything that needs to be drawn. There's maybe about 30 more cards that have to be drawn, but pretty much all the stats are designed. I have my art program that I'm using that's really fast at helping me getting cards created. And now that I have some templates going for my deck boxes, for the booster pack designs, and just for my flow of how I'm making cards, it's gonna get done real fast. So I would imagine in about a month's time, month and a half time, I should be placing my first official order for some set 3 distant lands, starter decks, and booster packs, and individual cards, and it will soon be available to you on the Game Crafter. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to keep in touch with the channel. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys have been enjoying the 12 days of Christmas. If you haven't already, go back and check some of those other videos. And also, on my YouTube channel, I have created a bunch of playlists, so if you're interested in gameplay, the vlogs, how to make your own card game, or just drawing, or anything of that nature, I've made some playlists with those different themes where you can watch a whole slew of videos. I didn't realize I have about 130 videos on YouTube, which is crazy. I do want to end this video with a Bible talk because my faith in Jesus Christ is something that is very important to me. And one thing that I want to encourage you is being honest. Honesty is the best thing that you can ever do. Being honest is the best thing you can ever be. Being honest is the best thing you can ever be. However you want to word that. You know, there's this verse in Proverbs, if I remember it correctly, it says, telling the truth is like a kiss on the lips. That's not always true because it feels like you tell the truth and you get a swat back. But at the end of the day, I think what being honest forces us to do is just to be very real with ourselves. And though it might be uncomfortable in that moment, it's gonna prove to be fruitful and beneficial in the long run. Like I said, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to keep in touch with the channel. And whatever time of the day that you're watching this video, whether it be the morning, evening, or night, I hope you have a good rest of your day. And stay tuned for tomorrow's 12 Days of Christmas YouTube uploads.